Hello. So, back a long time ago in first semester, we did system of equations. Remember where you got one solution, no solution, or infinitely many solutions when we were solving equations? Now we are going to take that into graphs. So, we're going to be working on that this week, and then we'll kind of do a review next week and see how we're doing with everything. So, just a reminder to plot lines on graphs. We plot the b, the y-intercept on the y-axis, use our m or our slope to rise and fall, and then run. Keep plotting until you run out of the room, and then connect the dots. We're going to do that only instead of doing one line per graph, we're going to do two on the same graph and see. So what I want to look at first, right, is just the basics of, if I look here, how many times does the graph intersect? Just once. So this would be one solution. What would this be? No solution, right? And again, that's just looking up here at these graphs and just kind of remembering sort of this. So I want you to do exactly what we did. Look at that first page if you need to and try these four. Welcome back. So we have a no solution. We have infinitely many solutions. And then I want to look at these two. So you may have figured out, wow, this line is like not really easy to see, is it? So there's a line there. Sorry, you can't really see it well. What I want you to realize is looking, especially this one or even that one, right? Notice how you don't see any intersections, but if you were to continue, right? If you were to continue this blue line and this yellow line, eventually they would cross. So it's not necessarily did they cross while I'm looking at it, it's do they actually intersect? So this is one solution, and same thing here. Eventually this would cross, and so this is one solution as well. So we're going to look at that. All right. If you miss class, there's not really much. This is more of what we see. But take a second and then maybe I'll point out a couple things. Welcome back. So what I want to point out here is these intersect. Notice how the slopes are different, right? So one solution, slopes different. No solution, notice how the slopes are the same, but different y-intercepts. And then infinitely many solutions, the slope and y-intercept are the same. Okay. So again, what I want to just help you to understand and just kind of give you a heads up is sometimes you won't need to plot the graphs to know what the solution is. Obviously, if it's one solution, they want to know where they intersect, probably will. But if they're just looking for how many solutions does this have, you don't always necessarily need to plot it. Okay. So we're going to look at this first one. All right. So I'm writing out M and B for both of them. We're going to come back to this first one. Let's look at this y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 4. Excuse me. I guarantee that you know exactly what the m is, negative 5 over 2, and what the b is, 4. So plot our 4 and then go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1, 2. That's probably all you can get on that graph. Okay. For the second equation, we do not have an m. It is not there. Our b is -1. So I'm going to plot -1. And as we looked at our stuff last week, I talked to some of you who asked, which was great. You said, Ms. Sherman, how do I do this one where it's just got this number, right? So this y equals -1. If m is 0, this is 0 fun. Remember doing slope, dude? So we have a graph. And remember last week how I said keep your lines going? This is why. Because if you wouldn't have kept your line going, right, you may not have seen where they intersect at. So this intersection, we're going to put in parentheses, is +2, -1. Anytime you're writing a solution, that's how it needs to be written, unless you're saying no solution or infinitely many.